The Metropolitan Tabernacle pulpit. The apple tree in the wood. A sermon delivered on Lord's Day morning, July 6, 1873, by C.H. Spurgeon at the Metropolitan Tabernacle, Newington. As the apple tree among the trees of the wood, so is my beloved among the sons. Song of Solomon 2:3. By the apple tree would probably be intended by the Oriental writer either the citron or the pomegranate or the orange. I suppose he did not refer to the apple tree of our gardens, for it would scarcely be known to him. The word would not, however, be properly rendered if we confined it to any of the 3 fruit trees we have mentioned, or if we excluded our own apple from it, for the term apple comprehends all large round fruit not enclosed in a shell, and so we may, without making any mistake, think of the apple tree of our own English orchards, and yet the metaphor will stand good, except that the shadow of our apple tree at home is hardly so excellent a retreat from the sun as the shadow of the other trees included under the term. Our own apple tree will suffice us, however. We shall not need to enter into any minute distinctions or to carry you away to Palestine. We can sit at home in England and can say with great propriety, if we love the Lord Jesus Christ, as the apple tree among the trees of the wood, so is my beloved among the sons. The point of the metaphor is this. There are many trees of the forest, and they all have their uses. But when one is hungry and faint and thirsty, the forest trees yield no succor, and we must look elsewhere. They yield shelter, but not refreshing nutriment. If, however, in the midst of the wood one discovers an apple tree, he there finds the refreshment which he needs. His thirst is alleviated, and his hunger removed. Even so, the church here means to say that there are many things in the world which yield us a kind of satisfaction. Many men, many truths, many institutions, many earthly comforts, but there are none which yield us the full solace which the soul requires. None which can give to the heart the spiritual food for which it hungers. Jesus Christ alone supplies the needs of the sons of men. As the apple tree is the exception to the forest trees in bearing its fruit, as it stands on that account in contrast to the trees of the wood, so does Jesus our beloved contrast with all others and transcendently excel them. An apple tree in simple beauty stands and waves its juicy treasure gracefully among the barren trees which crowd the wood, of lofty form but destitute of fruit. So Jesus, midst the failing sons of men, bears for my use the fruits of covenant love, and fills my heart with rare delight and rest. Wandering as I have been during the last few days, up and down in the New Forest, the only real forest of our country, and finding rest in its vast solitudes, often has this text occurred to me. Therefore I can do no other than speak of it to you. As the apple tree among the trees of the wood, so is my beloved among the sons. We shall at the outset speak of the tree which the fainting soul most desires. We shall then remark that it is no small wonder that the needy one finds an apple tree in so singular a position. And thirdly, we shall note her very natural conduct when she found so desirable a tree in such a position. She sat down under its shadow with great delight and feasted upon the delicious fruit. First, then, our text speaks of the tree which the fainting soul most desires. Imagine yourself upon some sultry day in autumn, as a wanderer in the leafy lanes of a great forest, where the grand cathedral aisles reach before you to lengths immeasurable, or huge domes of foliage rise above you like a second sky. Imagine yourself roaming amidst the ferns and brakes, trampling on the briars and hollies, or sitting down on mossy banks and knolls soft with layers of sere leaves. Suppose also that you are hungry and thirsty, and that no rippling streams offer their cooling floods, while you are so far away from human call that, hungry though you might be even to death, there would be no eye to see you, and consequently no hand outstretched for your help. In such a plight it needs no imagination to conceive you as glancing to the trees, your only companions, and silently appealing to them for aid. Some of them look as if their bowing branches would sympathize if they could. Others grotesquely grin at you, and the most of them sternly refuse you succor by their solemn silence. You will ask in vain of oak or ash or elm. Suppose you appeal to yonder stately tree, which is the greatest of them all, the king of the forest, unequaled in greatness or girth. Admire its stupendous limbs, its gnarled roots, its bossy bark, the vast area beneath its boughs. You look up at it and think what a puny creature you are, and how brief has been your life compared with its duration. You try to contemplate the storms which have swept over it, and the suns which have shone upon it. Great, however, as it is, it cannot help you. If it were 1,000 times higher, and its topmost boughs swept the stars, yet it could minister no aid to you. This is a fit picture of the attempt to find consolation in systems of religion which are recommended to you because they are greatly followed. Here is a religion which has been patronized by kings and nobles for centuries, a religion which has the support of the great and fashionable at the present hour. Will not this content you? Is it not enough to belong to the same religion as the majority, especially when that majority includes the aristocrats of the land? Is not the voice of the people the voice of God? What more do you want? Why should you be singular? Alas, the great tree is not the fruit-bearing tree. The true Christian, believing in Jesus Christ with all his heart, counts it no desirable thing to be found in the broad road where the many go, for he remembers that his Master spake of it as leading to destruction. Majorities are nothing to him, for he remembers that strait is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. He does not reckon that the greatness of the company will make right wrong, or overawe the judge of all, or make eternal punishment one whit the less intolerable. We desire not the way of the multitude. The way of the crucified we delight to follow. It is not the mightiest tree of the forest that we look to with hope, but to the Lord Jesus, our beloved, who is the apple tree among the trees of the wood. His fruit is sweet to our taste. He is the way, the truth, and the life to us. His person is most dear unto us, and his teachings are the food of our spirits. Happy are ye who dare to be singular with Christ. Blessed are ye who have found the narrow way which leadeth unto life eternal. Blessed are ye because ye are not carried away with the strong current and the fashion of the age, that have heard the voice that saith, Be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your minds. Wisdom tells the hungry man to prefer the solitary apple tree to whole groves of the hugest oaks or beeches, and wisdom given from above has brought you, O believer in Jesus, to prefer your Redeemer to all the great ones of the earth.